Alright, Cora, we're going to take a look at your paper. We're actually going to start at the end, which I don't usually do, but I was flipping through your paper and I wanted to take a look at it. One, I think that font, I know that font is bigger than 12 point. It's not a big deal, it doesn't affect your overall whatever, but just take a look at it. Number one, make sure Works Cited is at the top, so make sure that that Works Cited page goes all the way to the top. This, I tried to talk about this in class. This is not going to be your actually works cited page. Like all of that stuff, that's junk. You want to start with this. So it should start with that. Same thing with this. Like get rid of all of that. This is what it should start with. You don't have, oh yeah, you do. Never mind. This is okay too. But yeah, you want to get rid of those few things before you move on. Alright, so let's start at the top. Again, you want to work on same font. That's even a different font, not even a different size, a different font too. So your name, my name, class, date, disloyal power. It's not bad. We can work with it. Alright, so we start with the whole Leonardo DiCaprio. Not the most exciting first line ever, but you give the example of Leonardo, which is fine. Once you say it, write it out fully, in parentheses, put OCD, and then you call it OCD after that. So when you use it here, just call it OCD after that. Otherwise, which I know this is not your case, you have plenty of writing, but otherwise, someone's going to have to justify this by saying, or someone's going to say, I need my paper to be longer, so I'll just write this out. But you can just call it OCD the rest of the time. You don't have to keep writing obsessive compulsive disorder. I like the idea of comparing Leonardo to Macbeth, how Leonardo has not let it hold him back, but Macbeth has given in to it, his impulsive thoughts and actions. I really like that connection. I think you did a good job with this. This is a run-on sentence, though. This is a whole nother sentence that you need to separate. So this could be a semicolon here, something like that. You go on through these main points, which is fine. Got an extra space here that you'll have to fix. And repetitive actions which in time corrupts Macbeth, causing him to become a disloyal dictator drawn to power, leading to his tragic downfall. I like it up to here. This part, we already know he leads to his downfall. In fact, I would mention that earlier, like, up here maybe. Gives into his impulsive thoughts and action, leading to his tragic downfall, and then go from there. And again, I hope that in your body paragraphs it's more than just that he's drawn to power. Let's look at your first body paragraph, Cora. Cause him to his excessive urges and insuppressible actions cause him to be a disloyal dictator. And you talk about the urge to do foolish, urge to do something foolish even when they know what the consequences might be. This is another run-on sentence here. So this is also known as compulsion, so you got to fix this run-on sentence. We talked about how to fix it in class. Alright, here's your first problem, Cora. You don't have any outside sources about your disease. I'm pretty sure that you didn't know about this disease when you first started writing about it, so you're going to want to go back in and cite where you got this information from. I like the idea of not being able to control his actions and doing things that are impulsive. This caused Macbeth to kill Macduff's family in revenge due to his decision to leave Scotland and go to England to fight with Malcolm. So I really like this. I really like his actions. Again, this is just plot. I would warn you against just having a quote that's plot. Remember, it's for period 1 period, not colons. I've graded 4 papers now, Cora, and every paper has done something different. I've seen slashes, I've seen commas, I've seen all sorts of things. So make sure that they're periods when you go through that. So I like this idea, again, that he thought it was a small problem that he could control, but it showed how much power he still had over him, even though Macduff fled to England. But, and here's where you need some better transitional words, but ultimately that decision creates a bigger problem. So make sure you have some strong transitional words there. You also have too many spaces there. You just need one space after the period. Up here too, during the play, Macbeth says you need a comma there as well. So a couple of different punctuation things that you're going to lose points on when they start adding up. So make sure you go back there and fix them. So you talk about taking unnecessary actions, which is fine. And again, here's what the problem is. You get to the end of your body paragraph, and you've done nothing to really talk about this idea of being disloyal and what it ultimately means, just that he is disloyal to anyone in his way. including people who once trust him. So that's why I'm saying that your thesis has got to be strong so that you can actually talk about it down here. I like what you have so far. I think you have some good connections. I think you've made some solid connections, but you need to fix that. This is essentially your transitional statement, and technically it can go here, but this is just a total Mr. Brasher thing. I like it at the end of your body paragraph that it's going to draw us from here down to here. And it's, I would say, a weak transitional statement because you're just saying, now that I've talked about this, I'm going to talk about this. So, I don't know, it's up to you how you want to proceed with that. So I really like the idea of talking about perfection and how Macbeth has to have things that are perfect. I think it's a great symptom that works really well for Macbeth. You give a good example, which is fine. You have a couple of spaces here. You have a lot of space issues here, Cora, which is not just you, but you have too many spaces here. You have no space here, no space here, no space here. So you got to get those spaces in because this is a huge red flag. When you have this much white space here, it's a huge red flag. So use a quote and setting up quotes too. I'll talk about setting up quotes in this paragraph. In this article, it is said that don't just, although they know this on there, they feel the need to double check. Then just use the quote with the source by it. You don't need that whole sentence there to set things up. He wants the murders to be perfect, which is fine. Macbeth wanted the murder Banquo and Flans to be flawless. Again, don't set it up this way. This is a run-on sentence anyway. And then you would say, period, when talking with the murderers, he instructs them to, quote, acquaint them with the perfect spy of the time, or something like that. You can set that quote up better than that. Exactly where he was, so they had the most effective opportunity to kill him, which is good. I like that philosophy. He says, then, because I figured it has been perfect, he becomes angry with and complete his request. It wasn't done right, so that's good. Now, it shows that he's only looking for himself and is a disloyal friend to Banquo. Again, you're just kind of restating that he's disloyal. I do like, though, that you finally got in a little bit of this. The need for power is more important than Banquo's life. And I think this might be edging towards a better thesis statement. The idea of how does he rank things that are important in his life and how that might affect him. So I think you can explore this maybe a little bit more as you keep going. This is a run-on sentence as well. Here's a complete sentence. Here is a complete sentence, so you're going to want something more than that. That's a comma splice that you got right there. So he's obsessed with irrational thoughts. This is a weak topic sentence, so you got to have a stronger topic sentence. It's more like a little mini thesis. Here's a weak sentence as well. Look how short it is that you have here. Alright, so he has this irrational thought of harming someone. They have thoughts about harming others, which you already said here. You have too many spaces here. Cora, go back and look at this again. So he wanted to harm Duncan because he threatened his chance to become king by crowning Malcolm to be next in line for the throne. This is the wrong throne. Then you have this quote, which I would love for you to set that quote up just a little bit more. He tries to hide his obsession by being a fake loyal lord. I like that wording right there. And then you get into another plot point. This is, surprise, surprise, your shortest paragraph thus far. Also, your least analytical paragraph. You don't analyze much of anything other than just talking about plot. You have to really talk about these irrational thoughts of harming someone. And I'd go back to once he becomes Thane of Cawdor, he has that thought about killing Duncan, and he actually says something about how whose murder yet is but fantastical. Like it's irrational to even think about killing Duncan, but he has it, and that would be a much better example to go back to analyze. And again, when you have a weaker thesis, it's really hard to analyze these and add any length to them. He also had many repetitive actions that went along with his obsessions. Again, I would love to have you have some more specific and interesting transitions, but at least you have them, Cora, which is a step in the right direction. So I see what you're trying to do in this paragraph, the idea of repetitive actions. By the way, this is your probably the best topic sentence, even though it's not super strong. At least you're getting to like the message that he's, which made him disloyal to the people of his kingdom. Even though that's just a repeat of the thesis statement, at least you're trying to have a better topic sentence here. Alright, so he repeatedly kills people that gets in his way. Here's the problem. The rest of this paragraph is basically just plot. Okay? Now again, you have an example here which I think is a unique idea, but what you're lacking, and literally lacking in almost all of your body paragraphs, is outside quotes. You need some outside quotes to draw these connections in here, and this would make this paragraph so much stronger. What did the website say about this disorder, and how does it relate to this concept of constantly killing people? You have common issues here for setting up quotes. You have the wrong throne. You have too many spaces. I don't know. Again, this is just mostly plot. It doesn't have anything to do with analyzing this or figuring out what it all means in the end. Macbeth kills young Seward when he invades his castle. And again, this is just a repeat. He just kills everyone that gets in his way. So you have a much stronger paragraph there. So you repeat your thesis statement, which is fine. Your summary statements of your bodies are way too short. Really dig deeper into them. You have a fragment sentence right here. I think you can clean up your language a little bit. Use some stronger words when the things did not go as planned. You know, when things went haywire. I don't know, something like that. Just to add some different language in here. Lastly, comma. Macbeth repeatedly killed innocent people because they're in the way of his power. Could not hide his mental disorder anymore, which I think is a weak way. Think of a quote, think of a wrapping up the theme, I don't know, think of something better. Alright, a couple things to fix, Cora, but I have faith that you can do it. You have a really good start and just need to fix a couple things along the way.